888-888-5211. Okay. Coming up now, we are going to show you another. This is another one that just looks like spring to me. This is just this beautiful, soft, uplifting, gorgeous bevy of pastel. And what you have is a centerpiece. Okay, now everybody's gonna laugh at me. Am I the only one that's hot? It was freezing. Is it warm in here or is it just me? It was so cold an hour ago. I'm a pain, sorry, but I think it's a little warm in here. Anyway, let's talk about this beautiful ring. What we have is, the engineers are gonna lose their mind. They're like, could she decide? Did it get warmer or is it just me? Is it warm? Okay, you're just being nice. It is warm, okay. I don't feel so bad anymore. I never know these days if it's me or if it's the temperature. But let's take a look at this ring. This is a beautiful amethyst in the middle. It looks like a blooming flower. It truly does. Surrounded by a combination of blue topaz, citrine. Look at the peridot. Just all those pretty colors, those semi-precious stones that play off each other. There's some white topaz in here as well to provide extra twinkle. Look at all the prongs going around, almost like a crown. See how it sits up like a beautiful jewel, like a beautiful crown jewel. And boy, is that sparkly. The color of the amethyst, I would call that lilac. Like the springtime beautiful lilac bushes that will soon be in bloom. That is exactly the color of that center stone. So I don't know where that African amethyst went. It's not as dark as the African amethyst. It's not as light as the pink, the Rose de France. It's really in between. And in a minute, they're gonna go to another shot of this so I can reach over and maybe grab the rings that I'm talking about. There we go. So look at, so there's that color, and then I wanna show you this color. So we'll show you a combination here of 3 different shades of amethyst. And it kind of does help. And it's all the same family of gems. It's all that same soft, beautiful, you know, fiery purple stone, but different in hue, different in saturation, and yet, interestingly enough, all genuine. So it's not like they are adding a little extra dye or a little extra heat or a little extra food coloring to get these colors. They happen to come out of the earth in this beautiful assortment of color. So I just want to show you real quickly so you all can see what we're talking about here. So this is all the same family of stones. There is what we're talking about now, which is more, a little bit deeper, lilac. Here's the one that we were calling pink. They're close, but this is slightly lighter and pinker. And then there's the deep purple, that dark African amethyst purple. All amethyst, all beautiful, but really just special and slightly different in their own right. So that ring, by the way, for only $89.90 is pretty great. To get all those beautiful stones combined, you get a lot of look here. That is not for the faint of heart. That is a definite, what I would call a cocktail ring. So this is going to be fun to add to your wardrobe. It's 451664. We have a little time out to take, but when we come back, we have emeralds on tap for you. So stay tuned for that and much